Hey everybody, so we're with Sarah and Mike in Minneapolis, and we've got a really cool project today. So with further ado, let's talk to the homeowners about their concrete problem and how we're going to fix it today. So tell me about your project here and what we're trying to accomplish.
All right, Chris, we built this house about 5 years ago, and when they put the concrete down on the front step here, in order to protect it, either the contractor or a sub put plywood down to protect the fresh concrete. What actually happened is the concrete wasn't cured, so it stained the concrete. It looks really terrible right now, and we tried to power wash it. We were hoping over time that it would come out, and it's actually gotten a little bit worse.
Okay.
So it just looks like there's pieces of plywood here, and nothing we seem to be able to do about it.
Right. And how much does this bother you every time you come out and look at it?
Yeah, it's really frustrating. We've tried to buy rugs and different things to kind of cover the space, but it's a really awkward space in some of the pieces to cover.
Yeah.
Sticking furniture and tables and things over it, but you still have this bright orange yellow stains, and it's all over the entire patio. And people always notice when they come up here. They always ask what's going on. Why is there a bright color?
Right.
So yeah, it's not attractive.
And has this affected your social life?
Oh, deeply.
Lost friends over this?
Yeah. People won't come over and have a beer with us on our patio anymore.
Let's be honest, this is pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
So, okay, so what we're going to do today is introduce the team here to a super easy to use product, and it's called our Fused Solid Color Stain. So a lot of people will go to Home Depot, Sherwin-Williams, Lowe's, just to name a few, and find out what can I paint my concrete with, and they'll gladly sell you a product that you can paint your concrete with that will come off.
Yeah.
Especially in this Minnesota climate, within a year or two. We don't want to do that. So we have formulated this product, Fused Stain. It's a nanotechnology, which means this product will produce a solid color, but it's really going to soak in. So it's not going to look painted, but it's going to give you a nice uniform color.
Yep.
So we talked beforehand, we picked our Aspen Gray as just a nice neutral color. So again, when people drive up here, they're going to just say, oh, that's a nice concrete porch. It doesn't look like we did something crazy to it.
Yep.
And so the process is going to be, first of all, we're going to go around, because we're perfectionists, we're going to tape off around all the finished surfaces. We don't know how good these guys are with the brush and the roller, so we're going to make sure that we get that dialed in, right? And then we're going to use a product called SCR, and that is a material that's going to lightly etch this concrete to make sure it's open and will receive the material the way we want. Scrub that in. We're going to power wash that off, take a little break, and then come back and put our first coat down. So we're going to do 2 coats of the Fused Stain, and follow that up with 1 clear coat of sealer to lock everything in.
Awesome,
So
that's great.
that'll be the project.
Okay.
To make sure you get the best and most quality looking finish, go ahead and take the blue painter's tape and go around the house and make sure you cover everything you don't want the stain to get on. Next step will be to take out a blower or a brush and thoroughly remove all of the dirt and materials from the surface of your project. Next step will be to take a garden hose and just spray down the slab and saturate it with water. This is an important step to do before we start to clean the surface. At this point, you're going to take the SCR, which is our 3-in-1 cleaner, degreaser, and etcher. You're going to cut that with 2 parts water to 1 part material, put that in a sprayer, and go over the entire surface and scrub it in with a stiff brush, and then follow that up with a power washing sequence to ensure that you get that surface completely clean of all of the residue of that material. Once you see the foaming has stopped, your surface is neutralized, cleaned, and ready for the next step.
Okay, we're back. So we've successfully prepped all the surface. We went through and taped off everything, as you can see. We used the SCR material to open up the pores of the concrete. We washed that, got everything cleaned, and as you can see, the discoloration is really even more noticeable now. I mean, this stuff is not coming off with the power washer. So what we're doing here is right on target. So the next steps now are, we're going to have all 3 of us working. So we're going to have one guy coming in and cutting in along the edge with a brush, because we've got a little flange of vinyl from the siding that we don't want to get the material on. He's going to do the rolling. He gets the fun part.
Nice. Yep.
Have you ever done this before?
I've never done this before.
Okay, so this is proof that this is a first timer.
Yep.
And I totally believe he's going to do it awesome. And then I am going to be G.I. Joe over here, and I'm going to be cutting in along the vertical faces. And if I spill on the stonework, then it's my fault. So I'm going to handle that part. So basically, what you're going to need for tools when you do this application are very simple things. You're going to use a 9-inch roller with a thick napped roller cover. Typically a 3/4 inch is what we like. Have a couple smaller rollers if you've got some small spaces you want to go in and around. So on these vertical faces, I'm going to be using it here. Just a simple chip brush is perfect for cutting in along the edges. So when the material arrives, it will be in a sealed can. Open up the can and use a mixing paddle on just a normal drill. Mix it up. That gets the pigments from the bottom of the can up to the top, and then you're ready to roll.
Before you get started rolling out the fused stain, be sure to mix it thoroughly by putting a mixing paddle on a variable speed drill and just gently moving the material around inside the can prior to putting it in the roller tray. Much like painting, it's great to have a helper do all the cutting in with a brush along the edges and work ahead of you as you come behind with your roller. So in this case, we're using a 9-inch roller, about 3/8 to a 1/2 inch nap. You can go thicker if the slab is very textured. And basically the goal here is just to put out one thin uniform coat. You can roll and back roll in different directions, but we're really trying to just work this product into the pores of the concrete, understanding that the second coat will provide us with the uniformity of coverage. All right, so we are back and we've got one coat down. How did it go?
It went great. Took about 20 minutes. Never done it before, and it already looks tremendously better.
So can you see any of the discoloration from the
I
boards?
can see none of the discoloration whatsoever. Looks like it's soaking in a little bit differently, so the second coat should take care of that, but I see no more yellowing whatsoever. Looks like fresh concrete. It doesn't even look like there's a stain on it. It just looks like brand new poured concrete.
Awesome. Yeah. So for anyone that's painted a room and gone from a light color to a dark color, you know that even with the best skill set, you're going to probably put 2 coats on. So with this product, it's much better to go 2 thin coats versus trying to really glob it on one heavy one, because you're just never going to get it perfect. So
I mean, we'd be happy right now just with this, but the second coat's going to look spectacular.
why be good when you can be awesome?
Right?
We're finally in the home stretch. This is the fun part. So this is our money coat. This is the final step in the application of the solid colored stain. So again, just even, Steven, thin to win. As much as you can roll in one direction and just try to get as much of a uniform coat on as possible. This is going to yield the desired effect, which is a surface that doesn't have a lot of variation going on and a nice consistent look.
All right, well, we're on our last step of this awesome project. As you can see, the surface is dry, uniform, really turned out nice. Everybody's really happy with it. As you remember, the stains and discoloration that were there previously are no longer to be seen. So our last step here is to put a protective coat over this system. So we're going to use our TK Bright Seal WB. This is a single component acrylic, water-based. It's going to darken the surface just a little bit initially, and then it'll dry back pretty much to the look that it is now, and protect this surface from any kind of stains and wear and tear over time.
To successfully put this product down, cut in along the edges with your small roller, just like we did with the fused stain, and then roll a nice even coat coming out of a tray or a bucket with your 9-inch roller. If you can do this out of the sun and heat, you'll have a much easier time getting this product down consistently, and it will dry to a nice matte finish. And as you can see by the before and after, this has been a huge successful transformation. Good luck with your project.